All right, I'm even going in hot. No intro. We all know the fucking intro. And for all those that get a chance to watch, thank you for being here. We'll see. We'll see if anybody's watching. Um, just got finished watching last night's game again. And just like on Sunday, when there was plenty of positive things to talk about. Hey Ed, good to see you, brother. I told you I'd be here. I'm a couple minutes late. I apologize. Brian, we're gonna disagree on that one. Well, to a point. It was horrible. It was horrible in the sense that was a game. And I know I hate to say the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I hate saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. The Besh penalty on the long Genty run wasn't a guaranteed 3 points, but you saw how the Raiders were kept driving. Yeah, and like I said, it was brutal. And okay, Ed, it was a lot of effort. And thank you for, if you're here, I see Ed's here and I see Brian's here and I see Hot Neil's here. There's two other people here. Try to hit the comments up so I know where you're at. Shitty is spelled with two T's. Shitty is spelled with two T's. You know I'm Nazi police. You know when I get pissed off, I do shit like that. I'll let you know. We can never get it right. Defense good, offense bad. Yeah, and it's about right that. Yeah, I didn't turn my phone off, so if it pops in, something's popping in. I will say this, and again, for those who didn't hear it last night, I was supposed to be in Green Bay, actually, technically Appleton, Wisconsin today. And if they're huge, it's 3 T's. Oh yeah, for shitty. Shitty. Actually, that would be SHITTTTAAAAY. What? Why? Shitty. Shitty. And thanks everybody for being here. I had a chance to watch it again. And I thank Ed Winchell for letting me know that it was on the first time. Captain was Jester Facebook. What? I have no clue what that means. Hot Neil, I have no clue what that means, sir. So let me get these things out. So, and I'm going to try to type them. Okay. 1. Besh holding on Genty run. 2. Thornton OPI on Tucker TD. 3. Thornton drop on long pass. Oh my motherfucking God. There's 3. Okay. Offense played. Well, how do you say when they're not as active? They played. There's a word. Offense played reticent. I'll say reticent for now. after JPJ left the game. I should have put a 4 there. I'll put it here. I do not know the status of JPJ or Gino's injury. Okay. 5. The defense was stout all fucking, and you guys can chime in as well. Did the special teams coach did he get fired? I'm gonna say good. And he did. I'm gonna say that because I heard that he was fired because they got their 3 points, their final 3 points, on a shit special teams play. Okay. I mean, seriously, and I agree with you, Raider man. We need JPJ more than we need Gino. And Brian, I agree with you as well. Okay. And Chip and was it Pete better understand how valuable JPJ is. And that's number 7? And this is going to be, and I'm sure that, and you could tell Peggy Holmes, because I was writing her response when Ed Winchell called me, and I didn't get a chance to go back to it. But she poo-poos, and Peggy's Peggy. She poo-poos Miller. Okay, he's gone. We're probably not going to get him back. But she says how JPJ doesn't really show anything. Peggy, did you watch the fucking game? Did you watch the game? Because they were highlighting JPJ. The blocks, the wham blocks, everything that he did, they followed him because he's the fucking heart and soul of the offensive line. He's the only offensive lineman that's worth fucking keeping. Because Glaze got pushed back last week and this week. Stone got pushed around. Now, granted, this is on pass blocking. What did they have? 6 sacks? 7 sacks? Let me see. 6 sacks, I think. Let me see. 6 times. 6 sacks, 29 yards. We got the Bo Nix 1 time. And I will say, why the fuck are we not playing Lockie Tossie, Grant, and Rogers? And if you're gonna trot out Meredith, fuck him. Put Putnam in there if you're not gonna play JPJ at center. And you can tell Peggy I said this. And I love Peggy to death. But Peggy, you're full of shit when you say that JPJ ain't doing shit. I'm a goddamn offensive lineman. I see what he does. Now, he didn't have his best game against Kansas City. He was shitty in Kansas City, but he's still our best offensive lineman. If you're going to trot out anybody on that fucking line, he better be there if he's not injured. Now, Raider Man, I don't know if that's, and I'll put this up. And by the way, again, thank you, anybody that watches this. You know I don't have a show on Friday because I'm normally at wherever I'm at on Friday. I see 6 people. I appreciate it. And I'm going to say this. If you're on one of the YouTube, or sorry, if you're on one of the Facebooks, if you're on one of the Facebooks that I don't know you're on, okay? I'm going to say this. Go to fucking YouTube! You know why? Because I can't see all the comments on Facebook. No, this is live. This is live, Kev. So I appreciate you watching on Facebook, but I can't fucking read your comments if you're on Facebook, especially if you're on my personal profile. Let me say it again. If you're on Facebook, go to fucking YouTube so I can see your comment. I'll even put it in a banner. I have a banner for that somewhere. Here, I'll just make, if you're watching Facebook, there we go. I'll clean this one up. It's a little old. There you go. Now it's saved. Okay. I'm going to show it. If you're watching Facebook, come over to YouTube because then I can see all the comments. Sharif. Yeah, thanks, Ed. I ain't beating around the bush. And yes, I am salty. And by the way, just because I scream at you doesn't mean I hate you. Because I screamed at Sharif last night, and Sharif is a very good friend of mine. I screamed at Ed Winchell last night, and Ed Winchell is a very good friend of mine. I just screamed at Peggy, and Peggy is one of my bestest buddies, right? So just because I scream at you doesn't mean I'm mad at you or I'm pissed at you or I hate you, right? No, just means I'm mad and I disagree with you vehemently. And that's the way to fucking say that word, vehemently. And unlike some people, and I won't mention their names because I'm trying to keep it civil. I won't say that my opinion is the only opinion, but I like to think that my opinion is a very articulate and well-received and at least smart, educated opinion. I.e., in other words. And Sharif, I'm gonna dime you out right now, not just to make the point. Sharif comes in and says, well, thank you, John Spytek, for fucking things up. And I said, where the fuck how many defensive snaps or offensive snaps did John Spytek play last night or the day before? I know, I get it. Sharif seems to think that this whole season is greatly because of his fuck up. Now, I will say Spytek did sign Alex Crappa, who didn't play too bad last night. Putnam played better than Meredith, and he actually came in, played well for the left guard. And again, Sharif, There you go. Thank you, Spy Tech. Fuck you, Sharif. But thank you for putting that. Thank you. And this is the comment that I would. At least it was competitive. The docu for 72 could have been a massacre. It wasn't a massacre. Why? Because our defense played well. Had they, and remember, Gentry's interception or tip that would cause an interception, the defense still kept him out of the end zone. It wasn't until that special teams fuck up where they were on the near the fucking goal line and they still kept him out of the end zone and they got a field goal, which eventually won it. And don't blame Carlson. You can blame Carlson last week. His missed extra point changed the whole dynamic of the game. The whole dynamic of the game. But the way the winds were, which is why, what's his fuck? The other coach didn't go for that long field goal because he knew better. And thank you again. Most of the time, Carlson will make that. And if Max spoke fire into the defense, they played like they had fire. Okay, and Matt, Raider Man, I was going to say that. Thank you for reminding me. That was what number am I on? Let me go up to 7. So we're on number 8. Why the fuck is Bowers only thrown at 3? I want to make sure 3 fucking times. Yeah. Vegas. He rushed for one carry. Bowers for -4. Receiving. Bowers was thrown to 3 times. Yes, you are right. And yes, Sharif, he's got a contract, but he's not going to be here next year. So such is life. Cole, I don't know if he got that contract. I wouldn't necessarily say the absence of Myers was huge. Look, I said, give me the long play that Gentry breaks off a run and they call it back. Give me Thornton catching the fucking ball, or give me the Thornton not playing and doing an OPI. That's 7 points. Period. That long run from Gentry might have looked like maybe 3. Okay. You're late, Emac, and I'm telling you, I'm not in the mood. And Tucker dropped what, 1 or 2? Let me see this. Trey Tucker, 2 receptions on 3 targets. No, he dropped 1. And I would say that Cole looked like Shane Leckler. I fixed it for you. He looked like Shane Leckler. But I get the coffin corner thing. I understand where you're going with that. The coffin corner was alive and well last night. And why the fuck did they give them the ball at the 1 yard line when the ball was out at the half-yard line? I said that last night too. No, Emac, I wasn't supposed to go on live, but I figured we'd clean this up tonight. And yeah, I'm going to have a show on Sunday. What number am I on? Okay, 8. So the next one is 9. Okay, let's do 9. 9. Yes, we need to run Gentry more, but not behind an O-line without JPJ. There's number 9. Genty, 19 carries for 60 yards and a 3.2 average. For those people that say we weren't running Genty enough, we did. I don't know if that's the most carries I think that might be. Somebody can get me on that. But I don't recall Genty running 19 times before. And this is true. And Sharif, are you going to be out there on the December 7th game? Because I am, depending on the way the flights are, which leads me to my next number, which is 10. And this one is important for me. And I'll just write it. Yeah, there it is. For those who don't care, but I care, the flight cost over $1,000. The game tickets cost me, and this is great because 2 tickets cost me $500, and they were good tickets. They were ADA tickets. Only cost me $500. And I am getting the $500 back in a check because the gentleman has Venmo. I don't have Venmo. He doesn't do Zelle. So I sent him a check. He sent me a check. So that's $500. The airlines are processing the feed for $1,000 and whatever dollars for my flight when they canceled it, which was nice. And the Packers, because I gave them my number, they are refunding my tour. So I'm not out of any money. And I thank you. And again, you might not care, but I do. And Savage, thank you, because I'm looking at it. 21 carries. I think that's the most he's had. Why does it say 19 here? Oh, 21 versus Chicago, 23 versus Tennessee. Okay, so he's getting close. And thank you for that, Savage. So I was off. I just don't remember him carrying that much. We should have beat Chicago, and we did beat Tennessee, and we should have beat Denver. So if we run Genty, let's just say 21 times, which is about the average, right, of those things. Thank you for that there, Savage. If we weren't run Genty 21 times, we should win the game. Come complete with complimentary cheese platter. I don't get that. The tour? Yeah, well, the tour was like $45. EMAC, $1,000? Come on, man. Yeah, at least. C-Dub, thank you. That Denver didn't look like Denver, but Raiders looked like. Not maybe. And again, thank you. We got 10 people watching. I thank you for that. If you're watching on Facebook, come over to fucking YouTube. You know why? Because I can't see your comments on Facebook. There's that. I'll get to the banner. Let's see here. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. Watch this. Copy. do that. Now watch this. Get this shit. Let's play this. So here we go. So now we got it. If you're watching Facebook, come over to YouTube. So I know I can see everybody's fucking comment. And okay, I'll say this about Richie. He did blast Chip Kelly, rightly so. But remember, when we were winning the game last Sunday, those plays worked, didn't they? And when we were in the process of winning the game yesterday, the plays worked. When you have the right personnel in there, the plays worked. Now, I'll tell you, I like this. That I agree with. That I fucking agree with, Brian. Get Carroll out of there and get Richie in there. EMAC, it should have actually been 17-10 Raiders because the Raiders had 2 touchdowns and they probably should have had a 3 points because they were deep in Denver territory on that Genty run. Should have been 17-10. And again, I'm not a woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that's just the way it is. And I love Richie Incognito. And yes, I am biased. I am biased because the Trey Tucker touchdown was one of those touchdowns that would have been 14. The Trey Tucker touchdown was called back because Thornton had basically a pick, offensive pass interference, which was called back. Besh had a holding call, which was unnecessary on a Genty run, which would have put the Raiders deep in the Broncos territory. That's why I'm going to call it 3. This ain't happening. Jason Kelsey as an O-line coach, he would never coach against his brother. But it'd be a good hire. I like that, Savage. Thank you for that. But you know what? I don't have what it takes. But I have what it takes to help out this franchise in some capacity. And Savage is the one that had that graphic where I was doing the play-by-play. I did the play-by-play last night. It's still up on my YouTube. But that's my niche, is something in the promotions department or something in the promotions for the fans and the team. That's my niche, and I want to do that. But I appreciate that. These are Oakleys. These are Oakleys. In fact, all my glasses are either Oakley or, I should say all of them, but 98% of them are either Oakley or Maui Jim. I don't know that. Sharif, it's a thought. But you know what? When I'm doing my job, you can shake tits and ass at me all day. And you know I'm true on this. I would be distracted if I'm not working, but if I'm working, no. You could have a bare shaved beaver that smells like a chocolate cake this far from my face, shaved, smelling good, and I'd be like, that's nice, but I got to do my job. And that's true. Graves have hired O-line's coach. Who did they? No. I don't. If you're talking about they fired McMahon, which is overdue. And yeah, Savage, I'll give you love all the time. When it's due to, I give love to Sharif. I give love to Ed Winchell because they're the fans that are always here. So's Furpo. So's what is it? Damn it, Matt Marinovich. You know, friggin' Jack Kenna. There are people that are here. And even Emacs here, and he's not even a fucking Raiders fan. I know Emac, I got it. And Bruce, thank you. Bruce is here, and Bruce is in the fucking Philippines. So Bruce, it's early for you. It's good. And I appreciate that. Emac is here, Bruce is here, fucking Rich Davis, anybody that's here. And that's why I said, if you're watching on Facebook, go to fucking YouTube. You know why? Because then I could read your fucking comments. But I stopped at 10, right? Can you think of anything else that I might have missed? Because the defense was stout. The defense stopped them when they needed to. They stopped them when they had to. The Broncos had one series that was decent long, and they got a touchdown out of it. But the defense stopped them every other fucking time. How many 3-and-outs did they? I don't know the answer to this, but how many 3-and-outs did they have? They had at least 7. At least 7. Probably Emac, but there are a few. McMahon was a sacrificial lamb, the nepotism twins, they'll say. Yeah, and you know, and I'll give you that the Carroll sons need to go. I agree with you on that. Oh, did Todd write a book? I got to read that. If you get pissed off, and I maybe troll, at least I give. I'm saying no. You're good. You're good, Emac. Haven't seen a defense like that since the. Thank you. The defense showed up last night, and you said that I didn't read the reports. I haven't done anything today because I was. What did I do today? I did stuff today. You know what? You know when I come in, I'm always saying I'm doing something. I'm doing something. But I am. I'm doing something. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Maybe because I'm here, I think that the neighborhood is having like a carport garage sale type shit. So maybe I'll trot out some of the stuff that's in my garage out there and put it up for sale. Just to get it out of the fucking garage and see if anybody buys it. But it's I wasn't planning on doing it because I wasn't supposed to be here. So and it's what? It's going towards midnight. And it's unfortunate, but you know, at least Caillou Kelly had 2 interceptions. Isn't that amazing? The guy was getting burned more often than a Waffle House pancake, but he had 2 interceptions. He played well. I don't know, Emac. If you would see Emac, I think that you would. I know that you just probably, because you love your Seahawks too much, you'd probably fuck things up literally to make your Seahawks better. You were browsing on Filipino singles. When? I don't. I know that's a ha ha. I don't get that. I was browsing on Filipino singles. You'll have to explain that one to me, Shreve. But anyway, I'm on here. I've been bitching, or not bitching. I've been laying it down. Did you notice how well the offense looked when JPJ was in there? Did you notice? Did you notice how well the defense played from the first snap to the last snap? They played their asses off. And had it not been for two unfortunate penalties and a drop pass, my God, could it have been 17? Could it have been 21? Could it have been 24? And then I have this fucktwad, and you know I reserve that term for only people that deserve it. This fucktwad Bronco fan puts in a thread on Facebook how the NFL is rigged because the Raiders, who had no right being in the game, were kept in the game by the NFL. That's bullshit. And actually, JPJ was out. They had like one or two while he was still in there because basically they were killing the tackle. They were killing the tackle. Because on our first series, the first series ended on a punt because they had a sack on Gino. That was the first one. And then they had another one. I think that was when they were at midfield. And he went for it. And again, I just watched the game, but I can go back. You guys can look at the game play-by-play. They had about two. But then when JPJ was out, man, they couldn't run for shit. And the sacks came in droves. Oh, I see. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, Sharif. I could remember because last time I was doing the play-by-play in here, and I even did this. I think when they had the moment of silence. If you saw my play-by-play, you can see that I did this, or I think I even took my hat off. Keeps trying to have JBJ compete with Kappa. JP, they stop pulling it. There you go. If you're gonna, and the offense played well with JPJ at guard. It does. If the thought process is, and I agree with this. If the thought process is you need a big bruising guard that can pull and just bowl over people, that's great. That's what he could and should be. If you have that compete shit is pure and utter bullshit and lies. Because JPJ plays well as a guard. If that's what you want, then keep him at guard, but you better get a good fucking center. And yeah, Denver fans were fucking booing the effort all night last night. Tell me at the time, because they looked like ass. Didn't they? They looked like ass, donkeys. Because the Raiders kicked their ass. And I hope I hope that Denver comes into Vegas on December 7th and it's their fucking Pearl Harbor. Maybe it's a little too early for that. But let that be their Pearl Harbor where they get their asses bombed. It's only been how many years? 75, 80? No, honestly, when he went down, he was going down on a pass protection now. He was going down on pass protection because they were coming at him. And if I'm tell me if I'm wrong, but he was moving backwards and he came down kind of funny. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but it wasn't on like a running play. It was on like pass blocking or shit, or like a trap block. But he was going back. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Kansas City should kick Denver's ass next week. Kansas City, boy, there's a what? What is it? Pun or I can't remember, malaprop. I can't remember. But if JPJ, because I remember him going backwards and then he kind of like slipped, his right foot kind of like skidded. And I don't know what his injury is. I know that, or I shouldn't say no, I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, I believe that Gino has a quad injury. And if that's true, who's going to start? But Denver is playing, aside from last night, Denver is playing the best of the AFC West. Thank you, Rich, coming at you live. Thank Rich. You, whatever you're on, tell me if you're on my Captain Jack Rackham page or if you're on my profile. You're probably on my Captain Jack Rackham page, the profile page. Sprained knee. Okay, sprained knee is not good. Yeah, I know. But is it Captain Jack Rackham or is there a Levy in the title? Because the Levy is my profile and I can't read comments from that because I got both up and I got my YouTube up. So I can only do 3+. And I was doing before where I had the Instagram up and I had the other one up. I'm going to start doing that when I can. Maybe I'll do that for Sunday. But, and Rich, I appreciate you being here on Facebook. Not sure. Well, but thank you for being here, Rich. Rich is you'll always know that Rich is there. He's coming at you live. But thank you. Going crazy until that field goal. Yeah. I think Denver has gotten lucky in their wins after they knock out. Okay, well, and that's another thing. Oh, there we go. What number am I on? Well, I think I'm on 11, right? Let me look. I think I'm on 11. I think because 10 was my last one, I think. I think 10 was my last one. 10, yeah, okay. Number 11. Number 11. Let me just get this one done. There it is. How many personal fouls should have been called on the fuck twat donkey? Bruce, okay. Historically, you're not too far off on that. But when the Raiders were moving the ball last week and during the Titans game, especially last week and last night, it's a Chip Kelly offense. So wouldn't you be incorrect on that? Bruce, if the Raiders play like they did last night, they will beat the Cow Patties and they will beat the Donkeys, which will give them 4 wins. They should, using that same chutzpah and heart, beat the Browns. That'll give them 5 wins. So who else do we have? Got the Browns and the Cowboys and the Broncos, Donkeys, at home. That should be 3 wins. If they play like they played last night, they should beat the Texans. That's 6 wins. And perhaps they can beat the Garglers or the Chiefs. That would be 7. And only because of the way I saw them play last night on a short week in fucking altitude. It was inspiring. It was inspiring. Wouldn't you agree? It was inspiring. They went into Denver on a short week and kicked the ass of the AFC West leading Broncos. They didn't win, though. They didn't win. Do you agree with me or not? I disagree with this as well, Brian. AP is not a good head coach. And I put this in somebody else's thread. AP, and forgive me for saying this if you love AP, I love AP as a cheerleader. I love AP as a man that pushes the narrative and gets people together. He's an inspiration. He ain't a fucking good coach. At best, he is a linebackers coach, a senior defensive assistant. At best, he's a DC. And I don't even think that in the pro ranks. No. Just like I didn't like the special teams coach, Bisaccia, as the head coach. He's a great get the team together guy. And I've said this before, and listen to me when I said it. If Rich Bisaccia had a great offensive coordinator and a great defensive coordinator, he would have made a fine head coach. But that's not the way that they wanted to do that at the time. So we ended up getting McShitnuts, an homage to Jack Kenna. McShitnuts comes in here and fucking snows people over. No. AP sucks as a head coach. Okay, and I agree with that. But remember, that was at least 2 or 3 touchdowns that were, one was taken off the board. That's 14 points. If the defense plays like they did last night, yeah, they can beat Dallas. The offense plays better. And I'm not sleeping on Dallas. I'm not. Mike Vrabel would have been a great hire. He would have been a great hire, but it was lock, stock, and barrel. He was going to New England. And yes, we're not consistent. They fought for Graham's job, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think he's gone. McShitnuts, EMAC, is Jack Kenna's name for Josh McDaniels. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thornton, and it wasn't holding. It was a rub. It was a rub. Offensive pass interference. It was a, what do you call it? What do you call it in basketball? The name for it in basketball. Pick. It was a pick. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about this there, Sheree. So who are you espousing? Because you can say the same thing using this below with Pete Carroll. Be patient. Let him build. It'll happen. But at least Pete Carroll is a, and didn't you say the other night, I'm going to use your words against you, a highly heralded head coach in the NFL? You said that of Pete Carroll. Did you not? If Pete Carroll is a highly heralded head coach, don't you give him a chance to build the team? Dan Campbell, 3 games. But he also had people around him. AP didn't have shit in OC and DC, did he? Because he was the de facto OC. Yeah, Getsy. Oh my fucking God. Who is this? Nav 32. We trolling out here. I don't know who you are, sir, but thank you for joining us. Give Pete at least 2 more years. And there you go. And this is from EMAC. And that makes sense too. Shane Steichen almost lost his fucking job. Now look where the Colts are. Shreve, it doesn't matter. No, he's not a first-time coach. Hell, Pete Carroll's been coach of the Jets and the Pats and the Seahawks and now the Raiders. But he can coach. And AP can't coach his way out of a wet fucking paper bag. I'm sorry, Sharif. It's true. Because if Antonio Pierce could fucking coach, he'd have a head coaching job or an assistant coaching job in the NFL. Wouldn't he? No, he doesn't have a fucking coach's job because he fucking sucks. I don't know who Nab is. Nab, if you're 22 years old and you're still a Raiders fan, blessings to you. Blessings to you. You know why? Because you're still a fan and you only been a fan. You've been on this earth for 22 years. You've seen one, maybe two good seasons. AP doesn't know how to coach. He doesn't know how to coach. And I'm sick and tired of you bringing up AP where you got a raw deal. No, Jared Mayo got a raw fucking deal, Sharif. I'm not playing the fucking black card. If AP could coach, he'd be coaching in the NFL right fucking now. But he's not coaching in the NFL because he can't fucking coach. Can't coach. You can say bullshit all you want. It's true. In my opinion. But if he could coach, why isn't he coaching in the NFL? Why isn't he coaching in college? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because he pulled shit in college that was against the rules. Yes, so did Pete Carroll. Which is why Pete left college for the pros. But AP is still serving that sentence. But that doesn't mean he can't coach in the pros. He's not coaching in the pros because he can't coach his way out of a wet fucking paper bag that's been lit on fire with shit in it. I don't like Antonio Pierce's coaching style or performance or ability. He's an excellent fucking cheerleader. My opinion. But I know a lot of people share my opinion. I don't care what his fucking record was, Sharif. He ain't my coach. I think that's what you know how they say these Trumpers come out. He ain't my president. AP ain't my coach. What truth? About race? No. Jared Mayo is black, and he got a raw deal more than AP did. And Brian, you are correct here. And yeah, you knew that he got bent in college for doing some strange shit. You know that, Sharif. You know that. No, you know that. But if he could coach, he'd be coaching in the NFL. And I'll even go one better, Sharif. We'll see if he's coaching in the NFL next year? And if he is, what's his position? Okay. I want to see that. We'll look for that. We'll look for that. Now, what else do you have to say? I'll put my link up. In fact, I'll do that right now. And I hope I don't blow a gasket, because I've been on for an hour. Hit the link. Hit the link. There it is. Hit the link. You want to come in? It's only been an hour. If you're on the West Coast, Bruce, thanks for coming. Bruce, we're going to hear from Bruce first. Bruce. There he is. And even Brian agrees with you that Jared Mayo got fucked. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to move you so this way they can at least see you, and you don't have to have words over you. Come on, take the comment off. Jesus Christ. Hang on a second. Come on, take the comment off. Okay, I'm trying to hide the. There we go. Bruce, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Listen, I'm not a fan, and I've said this before on here. I'm not a fan of hiring and firing. All right. I wasn't a fan of AP getting thrown in the mix for what they hired him. I was not a fan of that. But the one thing I did like about him, okay, is that yes, he was a defensive back, defensive guy. I think he really should have had more of a job on that side of the ball. And I don't mean that he should, he was our coach, that's fine. But I did not like that he got fired after one season. All right. Because this team, and people have said this team, if we keep firing people, hiring people, hiring people, this team is never going to get anywhere.
Okay. I agree with you.
We've got to give a chance to, and that, yes, they should have probably gave a chance to AP. But
no,
when this,
now I understand what you're saying. I agree with the can't keep firing everybody. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that. But here's the point. If you have a shit boss, your boss sucks balls, and he sucks balls, and the rest of his staff sucks balls, get rid of him.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of him. Now,
okay.
And Shree's going to come in here. He's going to say, well, AP was 2-7 and Pete's 2-7, but at least, and here's the difference, at least Pete Carroll has been a head coach for 3 different NFL organizations, has won 1 Super Bowl, and has been a head coach in the college ranks and won 1 national championship. What the fuck has Antonio Pierce done other than winning 2 Super Bowls as a player? Not a goddamn thing.
And I agree. I agree. I guess my point is that, all right, when we ended up hiring the Mick Bum to bring the East Coast to the Raiders, the Patriots to the West Coast to the Raiders to try to turn them into that, I knew shit was going to start going downhill. That guy was an offensive genius for a good coach. For a good coach.
Agreed.
Nobody ever said McBum was going to be great. So we can put him in there with the same category as AP. All right. But getting these guys and firing them and getting these guys and firing them. You can't keep doing this shit. That's the problem with the Raiders. The Raiders will never be shit until this team has a coach and that they can at least to go 3 or 4 years. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Hiring and firing. I'm so sick of hearing these Raiders, get rid of Pete, get rid of Pete. Isn't that what we did with AP McBum? And now you want to do it with this guy? I mean, come on. Like it's fucking pathetic. Like I believe AP should have, and that's just my opinion. We can disagree to agree. But the hiring and firing we're going to agree on, Jack. That's just the way it goes. We can't keep doing this. All right? I'm sick of it. We got to build something. You can't build something just because we get a new coach and some guy named, Spytek that did all this stuff that won Super Bowls with Tom Brady. Okay? That is not our team. This is our fucking team right here.
Hey, Bruce, Spytek did not build that franchise in Tampa. It was Jason Light.
Oh, Jason Light. Okay. I thought Spytek did. Okay. Thank you for correcting me.
Spytek was his right-hand man.
I gotcha.
So he knows how to build franchises. And I will say this one thing about that Sharif will probably come in and say about. We had a guy that was very capable of being the general manager on this team about a year and a half ago, and they got rid of him. His name was Champ Kelly.
Champ Kelly. Yeah, I remember. He'd have been good, yeah. I think, yeah.
And he would have been a great guy as a budding, and notice I use the term budding general manager, because Champ Kelly has never been a general manager. He's always been the right-hand guy. Spytek has been the right-hand guy. So I get that. They said, okay, Champ, you're there and you're going to help build this. And when they brought in Tom, and I'm going to get it for Sharif because he's going to call him again, Tom Fiasco, because that's what Sharif calls Tom Telesco. He calls him Tom Fiasco. They got rid of AP. AP couldn't fucking coach. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody else has to say with it. And we're talking about why are we talking about AP? The reason why we're talking about AP, I see, is because it's been brought up.
AP, yeah, Sharif needs to come up and you guys need to talk about. But again, it's what it is. Yeah.
Sharif's coming.
I don't know. Yeah, and I just want to say this. I'm all right. Look at Denver's offense couldn't do a damn thing yesterday. Okay, they got the one touchdown to tie, and then they got the field goal. All right, but literally on a short field. Okay,
yeah,
their offense wasn't doing much. Okay, but it was our defense that held us in the game, and Thornton is the one that ended up hitting clipping that guy. And otherwise, if he didn't, he doesn't clip him or hit him like he did. That's a 14. That's 14. 14. Whatever it was, 14. It would be 14. That would have been the game. Raiders. Yeah. We would have had that one.
I said that in one of my numbers. If you go back up, I put that in one of my numbers. I did 11 numbers. Number 10 really doesn't matter. Just saying, hey, I'm getting my money back for the trip. That's important to me. So I'm not losing any money on this trip. I'm getting a check for the game tickets. I'm getting compensation for the airfare and the tour of Lambeau. So I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, so I'm happy. But 1 through 11 minus number 10 is about the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah.
And Icy was asking, why are we talking about AP? Because I know that Sharif is going to talk about AP when you're in here. And I'm sorry, if somebody else here can defend Antonio Pierce better than Sharif, then come on in. But Pete Carroll is not doing well right now. But his offense under with Chip Kelly running it doesn't play well. Why? Because we don't have a fucking offensive line.
Right. At
least we saw that our defense plays well in spots.
You know, we all thought we could score too. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I literally thought we'd be scoring at least 30, 35 points a game. I really believe that. And you know what? It don't matter who you sign, what's on paper, because if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't work on the field, you're just going to lose games. And again, super happy for the defense. I'm proud of what they did yesterday. They only gave up 10 points for four quarters of football. We just couldn't, we just kept making mistakes. We couldn't get our, the O-line has been screwed. But you did say JPJ. How come it runs better through him? And why is, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't get what the deal is, with coach and this guy, man. I don't know. But I believe with JPJ in there, the offensive line rolls a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it for me, Captain Jack. You know what? I'm not. It's pointless to be angry, but all this time. But it's getting tiring. So it's just like kind of just watch the game. If they win, listen. I'm a fan. All right. I'll always be a fan, win or lose. All right. I'm not going to be that guy that says, well, I'm a Denver Broncos fan like I seen yesterday and a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You can't do that. You have to have one team that you support.
I got
all
you.
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's nice. All right. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everybody.
The Asawa is telling you got to do something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, tell the Asawa, ingat mahal. So that means take care. Okay, we're gonna bring Sharif in. CJ Rich is coming in next after Sharif, and this is going to be entertaining. And you know what? Sharif has good points, but I don't agree with him on a few of them, and we'll talk more about it. Sharif, there you go. Give me a mic check, Bob.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
You're good, but you might have the on the back.
Mic check. Mic check.
Great.
Yeah, you might hear an echo because I'm on the clock.
Okay.
That could be it, and I talking into the speaker.
Yes, sir.
But all right, Cap. I heard what you said, but this is the thing I respect most. There is a difference between employees and raiders. The organization has employed a lot of people over the years since its inception. The one thing you and Antonio Pierce have in common is that you both, at some point in your life, truly loved this team and Shield. Before any of us knew who Antonio Pierce was, he grew up right out there in California, loving this team. That makes him, first and foremost, regardless of occupation, a Raider. And that's why he approached it with a different zeal that resonated with other players like Max Crosby. That's why Max lobbied for him so hard. So those who want to crucify AP now, start with Max Crosby, because Max was damn near on the verge of mutiny if AP didn't get the job, because he felt it was a right thing, Raider to Raider. We've had Joe Bugle, Lane Kiffin, a whole bunch of employees.
Yeah, I agree.
And yes, you and I both agreed that at the time, Pete Carroll made the most sense given his resume.
Yes.
Great. Muhammad Ali was great in his prime too. But I remember what he looked like against Larry Holmes in 1980 when he was 39, 40 years old, and Holmes was begging the referee to stop. Everything has an expiration, Cap, and we might be witnessing the expiration of Pete Carroll. See, I can buy the rebuild narrative if you got a 45, 55-year-old coach. You don't bring in a guy who's won championships in his 70s with his quarterback, or at least a quarterback he has history with, and then want to sell us on a rebuild. So what AP did at the most critical time for this nation is everyone was discouraged, despondent, and dispirited, brought life back into this team, this building. The defense all of a sudden was a top 5 defense. That was no aberration. The biggest part of coaching is motivation. You can always hire X and O guys. That's what coordinators are. That's what position coaches are. Motivation and getting men to believe. But what you cannot do is go to the Daytona 500 with a skateboard and think you're going to win the race. Cap, you've been watching football maybe for 56, 57 years. Name me another coach who lost 8 defensive starters in a single year. That's like something out of a Twilight Zone episode. Name another coach on top of that lose his best wide receiver because he don't want to be there no more after 3 weeks. And then had to settle for OC, Getsy, who came from the Bears, who had the worst record in the league in the previous year, because Kingsbury, who AP wanted, something went awry and the deal fell through. If you think Jayden Daniels was in Allegiant Stadium just for the Raider dogs and popcorn, that last game where y'all all were chanting his name like Caesar in Rome, and I'm sure, I'm not saying you were chanting, but you were present, you heard it.
I was present.
Jayden Daniels, the most coveted quarterback in the draft, as a guest of AP standing on the sideline. And then Adam Schefter confirmed what I said on your own radio show or podcast. He never even, Fiasco never even made a phone call for him.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off the back. It has been confirmed that nobody is going to go to Washington and get them to pull off that. When Kingsbury went over, it was tried and true. He was going to get his quarterback. The Raiders were told that they were not off of whatever. They weren't trading nothing. You're through. So if that's true, and we don't know if they just pushed it or not. They're doing that. Cliff goes out because Washington said, hey, we got a it's not the guy you had in your he's going number one. This is our guy. And by the way, we're doing an entry that the Raiders of course, Kingsbury Washington, correct?
You were going out a little bit, but all of that now, my friend, is conjecture. You know, we can only go on hypotheticals right now. But one thing is clear, he stood beside AP in Allegiant Stadium. There was a relationship there.
There was.
And there was the, so much speculation that was going around, but we just could not get the kid. But that obviously was AP's hope. It was Telesco who signed Minshew out of all the quarterbacks that was on the market.
And that fucked up, didn't it?
Absolutely. So when you say, well, he can't because he don't have a job, Lovie Smith can coach, but would you believe, Cap, that after going 10-6, Lovie Smith was fired after 1 year? See, for certain coaches are brought in, just like your friend Jared Mayo, who you rightly said was screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
For some coaches, it's common. They put them in place to babysit the organization. And when they're ready to level up, thank you very much. We're going to get somebody else. And even the way AP was dismissed was highly strange, to have him talk to the press Monday morning.
Yeah,
that shows you Mark Davis was conflicted or didn't make up his mind.
That was fun. I agree with you on.
Absolutely. So the vitriol, the hatred for a man who gave you the greatest Christmas gift in years is totally undeserved. The man who set the record for most points by any Raider head coach, Tom Flores, John Madden, the first John Gruden, the first Art Shell, etc. It was this man, Antonio Pierce. He was the right man at the right time. And maybe if you don't bring in a guy who got fired for losing to him and exercise patience, because Dan Campbell, Detroit was eviscerating his ass. The fans used to boo the hell out of him in his first year there. They called Dan Campbell all kinds of names in his first year. He's an ex-player like AP,
Yes,
a defense guy.
Yeah.
They're almost the same person outside of physical differences, obviously. But Detroit stayed the course, gave him what he need, not standard pieces and say, now go out there and make a miracle.
And there's my point, Sharif. Dan Campbell had proper OT in DC. Okay? It's not my fault that AP didn't have it. If you want to blame somebody, you're going to run the Raider organization. I get it. But the point is, this is my point, is if you're going to play a card that is not named, and I agree that there are voters that are a little bit mad and they get fucked. I agree with there's not a goddamn thing that can do about it. Because you know how I feel about that. And you ain't white, you ain't black, you're yellow, you ain't pink, you're a fucking person. But it's not me that's saying it. It's the way the fucking world is. But if AP had an great, and I say great coach experience, great pedigree, great anything other than the he had was a college defensive coordinator. Correct?
Yeah, well, everybody starts somewhere. Everybody does. You get experience by getting opportunities.
Thank you. I'm going to throw that in your face. Everybody starts somewhere, and you only get experience by having correct?
By opportunities, yes.
Okay, then why are you so fucking hot on Spike Tech? Because everybody has an opportunity, and it's what you do with the opportunity. Dan Campbell had an opportunity, and he stuck the first year, and then he had a great season and a great team, and he built that team, and he was given AP did not have that, but I will. Pete Carroll is pedigree. He's holding it to the and I hope those 3 years. My question is, who will succeed? And I hope Venus fucked up because his son fucking sucked. And I hope it's not Chip Kelly because we all know that Chip Kelly is not a good head coach. He's a decent OC. I know Nick's Insider. I get it. The UFO is streets and where he's on. I apologize. He's going to have to deal with it. The point is if AP is a decent motive, then look for him. But I don't think.
Well, yeah. Look, there's only 32 teams. There's a lot of people out there who are very well qualified, who are not working. So you can't say simply because there's not enough positions, this guy sucked or can never be anything, because we saw what he could do in a very difficult situation and give this franchise some hope. Otherwise, I've never heard a Raider coach get chanted before in the state, in the Coliseum or in Allegiant.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. With him, I saw that in real time.
I was there. It was everybody was
I never heard a coach yell Raiders like we do at the tailgates because he understood where he was at. Because like you and me, Antonio Pierce, the person, is a Raider. I'm not talking about his W-2 or who pays him now. On that alone, we got to afford him respect and acknowledgement for his service to this Shield to the best of his ability.
May I ask a question? If he is through thick and thin, why does he go on shows? First, if it's out when he got his job, after he was, who did he rate with the fucking
That's part of TV, my friend. And Derek Carr did the same thing 2 years ago with his brothers. The same thing. And he can do no wrong to much of this fan base.
I don't care about that.
There you go. So we can't have double standards. Because honestly, yes, he can feel betrayed. He says, what did I have to work with? That's a legitimate question. Was that O-line better than this O-line, Cap? Spytech didn't look at the film from a year ago and say, I need to improve. We didn't improve.
Well, wait a second. You do realize that Spytech has been in the building in 2025, right? Not 2020. 2020.
Right. So he didn't do any research?
Spytech took the research that was done by previous administration. Okay. What did he do? We need a wide receiver. So what's he do? Draft best round and draft fourth round. And then he goes the best running back first round based upon the information that was given by the coach or the coach scouts that was given. He also take corner because most need a corner. Okay. I think he's doing well. Getting two offensive in the 98, getting good defensive players, Dean and Hemingway, and those people I mentioned. Okay. So if he's building the fucking team, unfortunately, he's not the head coach. Is
with all that said, Cap, he had the second most money in the league. Number 2, not 22 or 32. We were number 2 in spending money. I remember when Reggie McKenzie had fucking $15 and some Indian nickels to work with. Number 2. This is the best we got. Look at that O-line, Cap. You played the position. You got the money. If he didn't have the money, we had fucked up contracts. I can't fault him for that. Number 2, that's a failure on the GM because that's his primary function, to maximize his acquisitions in terms of what we have to spend and make this team better. Okay, all of our secondary gone. Our best linebacker gone. You didn't even want to pay Jacoby, and I'm going to make a prediction. He will score at least 5 touchdowns with his new team. At least, if he's healthy. And we will watch them in the playoffs, sitting on our couch, sipping on some Jewish wine, thinking about, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Right now, we are 2-7, just like we was under AP. And I told you, Cap, back in March, or whenever we hired Pete, I said, if we don't win at least 6 games or 7, like you wanted to, this is a outright failure. And you might as well kept the continuity with Antonio Pierce if you're not going to level up.
Nah,
It's inexcusable to have that resume and not outdo AP, the worst coach in the world, according to you. That's inexcusable.
No. He is not the worst coach in the world. But he was not the best coach to take his team. And he is not a good coach. And Captain Jack.
Max Crosby begged to differ.
Okay. Well, Max is
Big bad Max begged to differ.
I get it.
On that note, Cap, I should see you in Vegas December 7th if the airlines cooperate with this shutdown. And I think we can beat that team in that building for old time's sake. And you know,
see, we do it.
Right, you know, and do it for AP and all the great Raiders, past and present.
And you're a great Raider, and AP is a great cheerleader. He's a Raider. But I just did not like his pedigree as a coach. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think Joe Bugle got a nephew. Maybe you might want to recommend him.
Who's this Joe?
I don't know. I'm just joking, but that's a little poke, for you to remember, before we try to make AP the poster boy of vilification, like the Raiders were favored to go to the Super Bowl with that roster he had, and 8 defensive starters injured. Him and Patrick Graham turned that defense around. 8.
I got you.
8.
But you know what? The 8 guys. Okay. Tried to give him a contract to what he wanted. But he said, okay. Was given a contract similar to what he got with the Patriots, but he needed to be a starter. Good for him. Right? The other thing is that the money was there. I did not trade ever the fuck because it wasn't worth it. Okay? And the other people that lost the safety app, I wouldn't give him money because of what he is doing. He's and damn cornerback the Eagle, Booker is elite. And fucking Bennett. I lied. But he hasn't done shit and he has a couple years. So it's personnel. It's just the way it is. I know the echo. Sorry guys, but it's just the way I is on. Whatever he was on, gonna be, and I apologize.
Well, anyway, Cap, I'm going to let you resume. I got to take care of these civilians and do what I do. But we will talk soon. But again, let's just be fair and consistent. Pete does not get a pass for this disaster we are witnessing. But this is a bigger disappointment than a year ago.
I agree with. The thing is, though, you said if this does not win 6 or 7, disaster.
And we are heading that way. Like Molly Hatchet, we're flirting with disaster.
Good for you, brother.
All right, Cap, we'll talk soon.
Hey, you take care of yourself up there in the NBC. All right. And bring one for me when you come out on December. He knows what I'm talking about. Bring one for me. For the guys that were talking about the echo, I apologize. It's just the way it is. Because Sharif was at his job and he has to listen to what was going on the speaker to take care of the conversation. I get it. But if it wasn't Sharif, I'd say, dude, call back. But it is Sharif, and Sharif is probably, other than Ed Winchell and other than, Matt Marinovich and other than a few other people, he is a consistent viewer and partaker and somebody that pops in on this program. If you are that guy, I'm going to give you some credit, right? So, again, we got Chewy in here. And the real Dixon Cider loved that. Frank Weber, double standards by consistent, yada, not firing a head coach year one. I'm always against that. Well, I get it, Dixon Cider. I get it. But here's the thing. The only head coach that was fired after 1 year last year was fucking Jared Mayo. Now let me say that again. The only head coach that was fired last year after 1 year on the job was Jared Mayo. Because Antonio Pierce was an interim head coach, and then he got the job as the head coach, and he was fired. So if you put all the time together, a little over a year. But he had what he had before, and then he had what he had last year, and he didn't work it out into my satisfaction and to the satisfaction of the club. And I still don't think AP is a decent coach. My opinion. If Antonio Pierce, and I will say this, if Antonio Pierce gets a job in the NFL as a coach and gets to a high degree of doing something, I'll say, you know what? We probably should have kept Antonio Pierce. But up until that time, I'm not. Because here's something else I said. Remember how, I shouldn't say remember. For those that don't know me, I could not stand Lane Kiffin, one of the worst head coaches for my Oakland Raiders. My Oakland Raiders. Even though I'm not a Raider as a player. As Sharif pointed out, Sharif and I and Antonio Pierce are Raiders through and through because we bleed silver and black. Lane Kiffin ain't a fucking Raider. His fucking father was the defensive coordinator that kicked the Raiders' ass under John Gruden in the Super Bowl. But Lane, a.k.a. Lance Kiffin, was our head coach when we couldn't get Steve Sarkisian. And Sarkisian said, well, I'm not available, but I got a guy for you. And they trotted in Lane Kiffin, who through smoke and mirrors and pirate spells and what do you call like the old guys in the West that was like a swindler and a Schindler and all this guys with the snake oil. He was a snake oil salesman, and he snowed Al Davis in the hiring. And Lane Kiffin sucked as a head coach for your Oakland Raiders. He sucked as a head coach for the University of Tennessee Volunteers. He sucked in his auspices of what he was doing at USC. And he got a little better when he went to the University of Alabama as one of their offensive assistants. And then he came into his own as the head coach of Florida Atlantic, which got him the job at Ole Miss. And my God, he's a decent head coach now because he has to build upon the experience. I don't like Lane Kiffin. But he's at least proven that he's gotten better with age. He's also gotten better staffs. I don't like Urban Liar Meyer, but he did bring Florida to national championship. Don't like him, but he's a damn good head coach who swindles and uses shit. Point I'm trying to make is, if Lane Kiffin hadn't burnt his bridge with the Raider organization, they probably would be trying to get him in a few years. As it is, he might be the head coach at LSU next year. He might be the head coach for my Florida Gators because shit comes around in circles. So maybe Antonio Pierce, after a couple stops, will come back to being the head coach of your Las Vegas Raiders. He ain't there yet. Things happen. Dixon Cider, thank you for that. Should Pete Carroll be fired? No. Should his sons, plural, be fired? Fuck yeah. And according to Pellisario and a couple of people, they did fire McMahon, the special teams guy. I don't know if that's official yet. Can somebody tell me if that's official? Can somebody tell me if that's official that Tom McMahon got fired? Because I will do the fucking jig of happiness if that's true. But Pete Carroll, no. Chip Kelly, no. They need to build on what they are capable of. And this team needs a fucking offensive line. This team needs an offensive line. And John Spytek needs to work and do all of that stew brewing that he does. And he's capable. And I know Miss Peggy, oh my God, love Miss Peggy. It's like, why the fuck? She didn't say fuck, but that's just me kind of intoning. Why the fuck does this team keep hiring GMs with no GM experience? Because there ain't a lot out there. You aspire to be a general manager. You work your way up. And the gentleman that was our assistant GM, I said his name earlier. He was let go when Tom Fiasco was in here. And now he is the assistant GM for the Dolphins, who they fired their other GM, and it's quite possible that he's going to take over that spot. And I'm brain farting his name now. It's official to the NFL. Thank you there, Dixon Sider. Good. Bye-bye, Tom McMahon. I don't like to use the term suck, but you sucked. You fucking sucked. But Sharif said if Pete Carroll can get at least 6 wins, he said 6, then it's a bad fucking year, and he is a piece of well, he didn't say it's a piece of shit, but he said that's the standard, 6 wins. And I think he should get at least 6 wins. Are we talking about the 4th down play where are we talking real tush push in with the Eagles? Are we talking about the stupid 4th down play with Geno? Actually, it was the 3rd down play, because the 4th down play was the touchdown that was called back. If we're talking about the game last night. You want to come in and talk? I see there's Dixon Sider and Rosetown, and who else? Ace Brown. And we heard from Sharif, and we heard from my boy over in the Philippines. Does anybody else want to come in and talk? I'm going to put the link up again. Copy it. 1 second, please. I'll say this. I appreciate all in the comment section. Spelled section wrong. Come into the studio. Paste. Hang on 1 second. There it is. Rosetown, Dixon Sider. Who else is in here? Ace. Who else is out there? Bruce was here. Bruce can't come back. Oh, you're incoherently drunk. Okay, I get it. If I was a drinker, I would probably be there. I don't drink a lot, folks. I think you guys and gals might have already known that. But and Frank's here. Yeah. Chewy's here. Thank you, that. And it's not me turning down my speakers, but if I turn down my speakers, then I wouldn't be able to have heard Sharif. And I wanted to be able to hear Sharif. And yes, it was a loud echo. Don't worry about it now. Nice. I don't know you, hot period blood. Welcome to the show. And thank you for the $2. But we should have won. And I hate the woulda, coulda, shoulda's. I hate the woulda, coulda, shoulda's. If our team didn't, if you're talking about the Raiders, that team, they didn't play like ass last night. One touchdown was taken off the board. One long rushing play was taken back. Our defense held them to one decent sized drive and a fucking field goal where they were fucking on the doorsteps anyway. And I'll agree with this. They're the worst 8-2 team we've ever seen. I agree with that, sir. But, and I'm going to put this back up, and I appreciate the $2. I do. I appreciate the $2. And because I don't get a lot of tips, but thank you for being here. But if you're saying the Raiders played like ass, and I'm not a Raider apologist. I'm not a Raider apologist. But my God, if the team could have had those jack penalties taken and Tito's vodka. There's your answer, Rose now. Will the Raiders beat the Eagles? Probably not. And it's one reason why I'm not going to Philly. Thank you, Dixon Sutter. I made $4 tonight. That's nice. Thank you. And I don't say it like who gives a fuck. I do. I appreciate it. I really do. It's not, but this is not about the money. It's nice, but it's me being here for almost 2 hours on a Friday when I normally wouldn't be, because I should have been in Green Bay this morning. Technically Appleton. But the flight was canceled. I'm getting my money back from that. The game tickets I had are coming back to me. Not losing any money there. And the tour I had of Lambeau Field for tomorrow is being refunded as well. So I'm not losing any money. Thank you there. Thank you there, Bruce. And thank you for coming in. And Greg, thank you on that. It's true. Hot period blood. Thank you there, sir. If you're a troll, at least you're a kind troll. And if I don't know who you are, I apologize. I know who most of my people are. Dixon Cider's going to a party. Oh, fuck you, man. I'm going to bed in a couple minutes because I'm on the East Coast. It's going towards 1 o'clock. But I did want to have another show. And by the way, if you like what you see, oh, a Diddy party. Oh, okay. Bunch of oil and bitches and alcohol. That's baby oil and bitches and alcohol. Yeah, I know. 10 o'clock. Hey, send some bitches my way, Dixon Cider. I would say Latinas preferred, Asians acceptable, brunettes for sure, redheads, okay. Brunettes, what was it? Latinas who are mostly brunette. Asians, mostly brunette. I'll even take, Native Americans, even Indian, like that color. Give me a brunette, a redhead. They're usually freaky. I'll even take a blonde. USC's winning tonight? Okay. Oh, you a short-term remedy? I think you meant remedy, right, Greg? I think what you meant is a short-term remedy. I'm an East Coast guy, so USC. Dixon Cider, I am usually there. Providing that the airlines don't fuck this next weekend up. I'll be in Vegas for the Monday night game against the Cowboys. Then the next weekend, I will be in Vegas for the game against the Browns. I will not be in LA for the game against the Garglers, who I hope we kick their ass, because the security, aka the LA County sheriffs, can bite my fucking nads. Let me say that again. The LA County sheriffs can bite my fucking nads. And let me also say that I am a firm believer of law enforcement. I love law enforcement. But the LA County sheriffs that are security can bite my nads. Christina Maduro Castro. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Hey, thank you there, Hot Period Blood. Appreciate that. Thank you for stumbling on the channel. I'm normally not on this late. I'm normally on earlier, but I wanted to do this show. Ah, thank goodness. CJ came back. Yeah. Oh, you're Lydia's daughter. Okay. Tell your mom I said hello. I've been looking to hear from her. It's been a while. Tell your mom I said hello. Please. She's got my number. Hopefully I'll hear from her. We are going to hear from CJ. And thank you, Christina, for coming in. Tell your mom to give me a call, please. And you take care as well. Thank you. And CJ, shipmate, how
Excuse
you
me.
doing?
Sorry, my voice is very hoarse.
No,
Been
you're
talking
good.
a lot
Yeah. No,
on my
good.
channel, other channels. I was just talking boxing, but yeah, I had to circle back, man, to let you know how I felt about last night's game. You know, I was in the live chat, right? We were calling it live together. So,
Yes, you were. And
oh man,
I want to say thank you for being there for the majority of the time. I know you were
Yep.
there. I know that Fester T3 was there. Ed Winchell was there for pretty much the majority of the time. If there were other people there, I apologize for not remembering everybody, but I do remember you being there, and I appreciate that.
absolutely. And the only reason it wasn't due to that your stream wasn't quality. I just sometimes I get so frustrated. I just tuned out somewhere in the fourth. So I apologize. It was nothing personal, but
No,
yeah, I was just
no.
like, holy shit. I know we're not gonna fucking score again. And if you recall, let me cam up. If you recall, I had said that they're gonna need a turnover, another turnover.
And they got it.
Excuse my voice. At minimum, to compete, and they got it. They fucking got it, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, couldn't capitalize. Gino was hurt. Like everything that could have gone wrong, other than the defense. Shout out to the defense. So I don't want to paint a bleak picture, even though we only got 7 points. We held the Broncos to fucking 10 in their or on their territory, you know, in their field. So okay, that's encouraging. Man, Geno Smith, I said, if nothing else, he has heart, right? So he competed to the very end, and we needed him because, we weren't going anywhere. Not that we did anything special, but without him, we had zero chance, right? That's what I'm feeling. I'm just thinking about it in real time. I like the pressure we got for the most part. Really contained Bo Nix. He wasn't able to scramble too much. Made a couple of clutch throws, like obviously the touchdown pass.
Right.
But no, defense did an excellent job. The punter was pinning them deep, right? So let's not overlook Cole,
Yeah.
please, especially in the first half. on the 1 yard line, inside the 1 yard line. And you were absolutely right. I remember what you said, that it should have been the half yard line on that
Yes,
second one, and they
it was the
spotted it
half
at the
yard
one.
line.
That's some bullshit.
It was.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you. And
All right. Well, I just wanted to get that off.
no, I'm sorry. I was talking to the young lady behind here. Tell your mom thanks again. Tell her I'm waiting for her. And Christina, thank you for popping in. I'm sorry there, CJ. Haven't heard from this lady's mom for a minute. And when I say a minute, it's been well over a minute. So I want to hear. But go ahead.
I'm curious, man. If you're comfortable answering, I'm 41. How old are you, dude?
I am 6'0".
Okay. Absolutely. Shout out. My mom just celebrated her 65th birthday.
Blessings to your mom, man. Blessings. Everybody thinks
Thank
I'm
you.
older because of this. But
Yeah,
I
Santa Claus.
yeah. Oh, please, man. I can't stand you look like Santa Claus. And I don't.
I'm sorry.
Bad, but it's like, oh, well, who are we fucking listening to Santa Claus? No, Raider Santa. And there's a picture right up there. Where is it? No, actually, it's not up there. There's a picture of a bunch of the super fans that are there. And Raider Santa is a character. He is his own persona.
Okay.
But I ain't Raider Santa. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see, Bruce thinks I was late 60s, early 70s. So, yeah, I know I just fucking look old. But, yeah, I got energy, and thank you. Thank you. And Dixon Cider is 32.
No, you don't look old. I was just wondering. Hey,
you're good.
Salute to you. Being old, I'll say this real quick for the chat, for everyone. Getting old rather, is better than the alternative, right? So I hope to be old. Yeah.
Being seen is better than being viewed, sir.
There you go.
But go ahead,
Absolutely.
CJ. You were making some points, and so people were bitching about. Could you believe the Denver fans that were saying that the NFL was rigged because a team like the Raiders was keeping it close? That had no business going into that stadium and keeping it under what the point spread was. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's on Facebook.
Did they watch
the game was?
Okay, I just want to say in response to that, did they watch the effing game? I'm not sure if you're monetized or if I can curse on your thing.
Go ahead,
but no,
man.
did they watch the game?
Let it
Okay,
fly,
they watched the fucking game. I mean, that's ridiculous because you saw it play out in real time. It wasn't like a bunch of bullshit calls against the Broncos. I could see you making the case if that was the circumstance, but no, Raiders were getting heavily penalized and still staying in the shit. So what the fuck? That makes no sense. To me, that smells of arrogance. Like, oh, we're just so high and mighty. We came in 7-2. How dare they even attempt to challenge us? We should dominate them. So, and I heard a lot of booing, especially in the first half. A lot of booing in the stadium. So yeah, maybe their britches, they were too high and mighty. I'll leave it at that, man.
They got butt hurt.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure. Okay, I see this when the ball was moving from the wind before the snap. Yeah, I saw that, and that takes. And that's why I said Carlson missed the kick, but it was an iffy kick. But that's not his fault. I blame more of the kick last week on Carlson in indoors, no wind. Why the fuck do you miss an extra point? That's on Carlson. I missed it, actually. I was at the game. I don't know what. I didn't even see the game because this was the first game that I saw this year where I'm not sitting in the stands and I'm watching it on TV. I watched it on that TV in front of me, and I watched it on the TV in my living room earlier for the replay. First game I've seen this year where I'm not at the game. And it's different because I watch the game from the game, and I don't see all of these replays and cut-ups and things like that people see. So I miss shit because I'm there. So
No, I feel you. Okay, absolutely. I had season tickets in the Black Hole for over 10 years. So yeah, I watched most of the games. Yeah, there. So I didn't have that replay and all the shit. So absolutely. I got you. Um, man, I can't wait to get out to Vegas. Still haven't seen the Raiders in Vegas. Life circumstances recently have prevented me from getting out there, but if not this year, which is possible, then definitely next year. So
Well, I
I'm
will
looking forward
say
to that.
this: the game tickets for the last game. Who did we play the last game? Oh, okay, we beat the Titans, but we lost to the Jaguars. Where like they said was like $150 for a game ticket in the nosebleeds,
Oh wow. Yeah.
which is nothing.
Well, see, if I go, I don't want to do it like that. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Salute, but I mean, I don't have to be like at least second level, but probably first, something
Mm.
like that. I'm down to spend like 1,000 for the trip, and I'm in Sacramento, so if I can get a flight, maybe like 15. If I can get the flight, the ticket, car, all the little things you would need. Yeah, I'll be down to do that. I should make a point of it.
Yeah. And
Where are you located, man?
I'm in Tampa.
Oh wow.
That's why I
Okay.
said every game to me is an away game. Every game. And
Hell yeah.
people think I live in California or Nevada or Arizona. Outside Tampa, Florida.
I really thought you were like in Vegas with
No,
Angela.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Angelo's in Vegas, and like I said, Reggie Kinlaw, who was on my show a little while ago, he's in Vegas. Everybody thinks I live out there. I don't, and that's one of the reasons why I would really, hopefully, because my love for the team, you can see it. I wear it on my shoulder. Okay. My love for the team
Right.
is real, and I'm hoping that maybe one of these days somebody will throw some money at me, so it doesn't bust my bank account. That's why when I was saying I'm getting all of my money back from the trip that was taken away from me this weekend, it's not costing me anything staying home, and I at least I'm in process of, because I'm waiting on the check for the game tickets, and I'm waiting on the 2 refunds to go back to my credit card. So it just takes a while, but at least I'm not losing money when the airlines fuck
Right.
me. But I do have next two games are in Vegas, so I'm hoping that there won't be an issue with getting out to Vegas and then getting back. That's the issue.
I see. Damn, yeah, because that's quite a ways. So you got to consider all that.
Yeah.
But man, salute to you for being so diehard that you're willing to go fucking
Thank
from Florida to Vegas. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's what's up, dude.
But no, it's and I do again want to thank you for being with on the broadcast last night. It was me watching the game and getting a chance to bitch with everybody else that watches the game.
Yo, so frustrating, but
I enjoyed that. But I was asked, and like people were bitching, or not bitching, people were lamenting why I had my issues with, I'm not really happy with what's going on with the record right now, but I really feel, and maybe I'm overblowing this because I'm biased. I am biased. I am an offensive lineman. I'm not a big offensive lineman, but I am biased. The most important group to me is the offensive line, because they move people. They move people. They block for the quarterback. You don't run behind an offensive line. You don't pass block, or you don't throw behind. That's your group. Now, granted, if you can't keep the deep, or can't keep them from scoring, you're going to win like the Chargers. You'll be in like 48, 47 games if your defense doesn't help. And I've seen those Raider teams too. But you got to be able to block. You got to be able to do all those things. And I'm an offensive lineman. This team would be so much better if the offensive line was a modicum better. Okay. And Miller's gone. I get it. My good friend Peggy, it just says Miller sucks. Well, she doesn't say he sucks. He just says he's not worth the money. But by the same token, she's like saying we should have gave the money to Jacoby Myers. I'm like, why? He was on the way out last year, and they basically told him, we're not paying you. That's why we drafted Jack Besh. That's why we drafted Thornton, to get their legs underneath them. So we're going to move you out. It was writing's on the wall on that one. Oh, we should have given the money to Jacoby. Why? He gets the ball, maybe 10 times a game? Maybe. But
maybe 10 targets on the high side. Yo, I know. Let me chime in real quick, because I know you don't give a damn about fantasy football, but like, I'm a statistics guy. Like, that's how I excel at fantasy. Yeah. But I say that to say this: the targets, right? How many looks does he get? How many times basically is the ball thrown to him? That's what a target is, right? So 10 on the high side, but normally not even that, and maybe 6 catches. He wasn't producing at that level where you need to throw a ton of money at him. So I was like, fuck it. Okay, get what you can. I would have hoped for a third, but we got a 4th and a 6th. I'm not mad at it. It's reasonable.
And he's out of the locker room where his negative attitude. I'm fucking out of here pretty soon. And he was like, and Peggy is correct on this. I'm on strike. I'm playing. I'm going to catch the ball, and I'm going to drop to the field. I'm going to catch the ball or go out of bounds. And if you look at it, how much yak did Jacoby Myers get? I mean, I'd like to see the statistic on it. How much?
And wasn't that one of his? Wasn't that one of his his niches? Like one of his specialties is yards after catch.
In previous years, Jacoby Myers would catch the ball and twist and turn and get about 10 to 15 yards yak on average.
There you go.
Not this year.
Okay.
Gets 1 or -1. Like he gets the catch and then he goes out of bounds for a negative. He gets a gain, but he gets a -1 yak. I mean, seriously. And I like Jacoby Myers, but I'm not throwing money at him. Not doing it. So
right. No, absolutely. I agree. I wasn't mad at that move at all.
But any other words?
Yeah, man, I wish we could have put up a little more last night, obviously. What was the catalyst? It was, man, once Genty patted that, and I hate to put it on the rookies, but it was a lot of rookie mistakes, man. And it's just I guess we have to be patient because they have a lot of talent, right? Thornton, Genty, like the main guys with talent were some of the main guys that screwed up, Let me get back in camera. Some of the main guys that screwed up. So it's just painful, growing pains. I'll put it like that. If I had to put a title on last night's games, growing pains.
Besh's holding call prevents a long Genty game. Okay.
Right.
Thornton doesn't catch a pass that should be. I mean, he hits it with his one hand. But you got to get that other hand close so you grab it. And he did that in college. He did good. And then the pick play was so obvious. Of course, they're going to throw the flag on that. And that prevented a touchdown. And then Genty, love Jenny, but if the ball is in your hands, it shouldn't pop up in the air for an interception. But what did the defense do? They didn't give up any points off that.
Shut them the fuck down. Holy shit. Absolutely. That was so impressive. So, okay, yes, let's be positive. They played their asses off. You couldn't ask anything more.
The defense played their asses off, and the rookies are playing now. What I want to see is I want to see Rodgers. I want to see Grant. I want to see Pegues. Okay. I want to see Hemingway. We have seen Porter more the last 2 weeks. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more of everybody.
Yeah,
that's what
Let's go through it right now. Let them get the experience. Absolutely, I'm with you, and I think they will go in that direction. It'll be the smart thing to do. We know it's not going to be this year, obviously, but yeah, man, so much talent. Get them the experience, and we could surprise some people next year. We could be like, depending on which quarterback we could get, like the Giants. Like somewhat of an upstart. Yeah, I would like to see that. So. Cool, man. My stomach is growling. I'm gonna tap out, but thanks for having me up.
No,
All
anytime,
right.
but and I really appreciate you being here as well. And again, that's CJ Rich, who does boxing with Angelo.
Right.
So make sure you hit up his channel. Is that the channel, Boxing and Bullshit?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly how it is in my title right there. If anyone is interested in boxing or any number of topics, I do talk a little football. We had a couple ladies up. We were talking about relationships type of situations. So a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades. So yeah, boxing and BS literally. So yeah, if anyone likes the BS I talk over here, so to speak, then come check out my channel. Salute to you, Captain Jack. Let's
Thank you,
go.
sir. I appreciate you popping in with me. Go eat. Go eat. It is now. Well, I've been on for 2 hours and 11, so I have hit my show. And thank you there. And Ed agrees with me. And if you're on the show, I see like Raider Jojo was here. The Dixon Cider has been, and Dixon Cider, I hope to see you at a Raider game as well. Bruce, I see. Well, Bruce, I'm not going to see for a while because he's in the Philippines. And I appreciate the Cap got more energy than me. I used to dance my ass off. And if you see videos of me dancing, I do. But until my knees get fixed, I'm going to roll around in my wheelchair or my scooter, and I'll dance if I can get up. But and I will walk if I can. But the reason why is because the pain of the neuropathy. I will sit down as soon as I need to, and that's why I have it. But if you guys and gals hopefully will see me at games, you'll see me. And I appreciate the positives. Like I have a lot of energy. I do have a lot of energy. But anyway, I'm glad that Lydia's kid, Christina, said that her mom's going to call me. I'm glad to hear that, and glad to have Christina out there. Greg Lara was here, and Hot Period. I got a new sub. I appreciate that. Got a new sub. And if you're just coming onto the channel, oh okay, oh Rafi's in here too, and there is a political comment, and I'm going to ask you to please take it down. I'm going to ask you to take it down because I don't talk politics and I don't talk religion. People who know me know where my political leanings are, but this is not a politics show. It is a sports show, a movie show, a what's going on with you show. We'll talk everything except politics and religion. So relaxing music. If you can please take that comment down, I'm going to leave it up until you do, but then I'm going to probably get rid of it. Okay? But do not come in here. In fact, I'm just going to delete it now. No politics, no religion, please. That's all I ask. And Ralph is in here. Hello to you as well. Good to see you. But the Raiders, I mean, the last two games were games that they should have won. We should have 4 wins right now. 4 wins right now. Can we have 6 wins, which is what Sharif says is at least the bottom line? Maybe. Looks bad. But I'd like to see that happen. So having said that, if there's anybody else that wants to pop in, Ed, I appreciate you being here. Ralph, I appreciate here. And JoJo, thank you as well. If I missed anybody, I appreciate you. And thank you for being here. I might try to do these shows more, but definitely on weeks where I'm not traveling. On weeks that I'm not traveling, maybe I'll do Friday shows. Maybe I'll do Friday shows because I've gotten a couple more people to come out. I'm normally on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays after the game. I will probably be on a couple times Sunday because I'm not traveling. So look for at least my normal show, 9 o'clock Eastern. Maybe even a show after that, maybe even a show earlier. Maybe I'll have 3 shows on Sunday. I'm not just saying I will, but maybe. Why not? But I appreciate you being here. I am Captain Jack. If you like what you see what you like, and share. I appreciate it. But now it is going towards 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast. I salute you. I didn't even come in and do my original, pop in with the music. So I'm going to pop out without the music as well. So everybody take care. We'll see you. And in fact, let me get my radar. Let's see here. There, we're going to get the right feel here. Okay. Yep, that's there. So I'm going to pop out. Everybody take care. We'll see you on the next show, which should be Sunday. But we'll have a great weekend otherwise. So take care, everybody. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.